Conrad Homestead. So guys, I'm so excited. I decided to start a new series of videos. I know that we have a few different series going on. We have the tips for the day. If you guys want to check those out, I'll leave a link out. But I wanted to start a different series and I haven't quite decided on the name yet. I have a name that I'm kind of leaning towards. But in this series, what I want to start doing is bringing you guys alongside us on the day-to-day. So there's been several times that like certain things will happen, or a revelation, or an idea, experience, whatever the case is. Something happens and I want to share it with you guys, but I almost feel like it's not really relevant to put into the grander scheme video. And I'm starting to realize that when I watch videos, that's something that I really enjoy watching and experiencing with people. So Paul and I thought it would be really neat that if we started doing some of these videos. So these are going to be more condensed videos, but they're going to be a lot more personal. So let me know what you guys think, if this is something that you guys enjoy watching, listening to. So I'm really excited about bringing you guys in on this with us. As some of you might know, I am currently in my craft room. So I was trying to figure out which background to use, and a lot of the times, like today, it is later in the evening, there's really not a whole lot of sun, and I'm like, I need an area that when I'm finally done with everything, I can go and just chit chat and relax and almost make it feel more as a conversation between us, because that's really what I want to do. I want to bring you guys along on our journey, and so I wanted a different feel, and I decided to go ahead and do this as a backdrop. So these pictures will eventually change over time because there's a story behind these. So the kids love to draw and I love to have their paintings, but I really wanted to display the kids' art and make it just that, like an art gallery. So Paul installed these really neat picture frames for me, and so they change over the time. The kids drew all those pictures, and yes, this one right here, in case you're wondering, that is a sea lion being eaten by a shark. That is brought to you by Caspian. So I have many of the other paintings, some fishes and a frog and a little air balloon, and Victoria drew a picture of a ram. But like I was saying, I wanted it to be more personal. So I got my coffee here. Yes, I drink coffee all the time, guys. This isn't just for the video. Like, I drink coffee all the time, and so I needed to have it right here. So grab a cup of coffee and join me. All right, so today what I wanted to share with you guys was kind of the theme, company, what would we do without company? Yes, I know that's a long theme. So one thing that we've been super blessed on is having a lot of company. And I know in another video I kind of touched on this, and I will link that video here. We've been so blessed, guys. We've been having a lot of people come and visit us. They stay for a few days. And so I wanted to kind of highlight some of those get-togethers because they are really meaningful to us. And so I'm gonna rewind back just a few months, and don't worry, this isn't gonna be super long, but I wanted to share just some really neat events that we had going on here in the homestead. For the month of November/December, my in-laws visited us. And so these are Paul's dad and stepmom, and they live in New York. So they drove down. It was a long drive for them. It was about 10 hours one way. They came down here and they were with us 2 weeks. It was really neat, got to connect with them. So this is actually the second time that they have come down to visit us. So this time we did spend Thanksgiving together, so it was really nice. So we decided to fry a turkey. So when Paul suggested it, I jumped on him like, yes, because I've never cooked a turkey. I know, that's sad. I've been married for 13 years and I've never had to cook the turkey. Because I come from such a large family and we get together for Thanksgiving, the elder ones usually took care of the turkey, and I was like a side girl, like, hey, bring the side. And when I would get there, they're like, here, cut this, chop that, mix this, bring that, whatever the case was. I was like the gopher. So I never had to cook the turkey, and so that's one thing that I've been kind of dreading trying, is doing the turkey. So for a few other holidays, like I'll do ham. My in-laws were coming and they wanted turkey, and so Paul said, hey, let's fry it. And so he did research, he fried it. Guys, it came out of the pot, and it was black. My mother-in-law and I didn't want to say anything to Paul, but we're like, that doesn't look right. That turkey looks like it got burned. However, we cut into Mr. Turkey and he was so delicious. Guys, if you've never fried a turkey, I would greatly recommend it. So I told Paul, you kind of ruined it for yourself, because from now on, you are in charge of Mr. Turkey. So it was neat also when my in-laws were here. It snowed. It snowed pretty good. The kids had some snowball fights. They did some sledding. My father-in-law was pulling them down the hills, and they even went to the neighbor across the way where my cows live. They're not my cows, I just like to look at them. So the kids and my father-in-law went down there and they were sledding up and down the hill for a while, and so they had such a good time. So my in-laws stayed here until after the twins' birthday. So for the twins' birthday, and we were able just to do a little celebration with them. We also went to a animal auction while they were here, and we sold one of our rams, because we had 2 rams. Because the ewes were still too young, we couldn't put the ram in with them yet. So we had ram in another pen, and then we got him a companion ram. So of course, one had to be Frodo and the other one was Sam Ramsey. Yes, I love Lord of the Rings. So Sam Ramsey unfortunately had to stop the adventure. He is the one that got sold in the auction, and we just decided that any other ram that comes into this family, that's what his name's gonna be, Sam Ramsey. So we still have Frodo. And so while my in-laws were here, it was about that time where it was time to introduce the ram with the ewes. So we videotaped that. We thought it would be a little bit more eventful. I guess in a good way. It was nice that it wasn't. And then my father-in-law, so cute. He was like, there's all this snow and I don't want the sheep like having to dig in the snow. So he was over there digging little spots. For a while, the sheep were not really interested in the little spots that he was digging. And eventually they kind of caught on like, oh, there's grass down there. So then they really appreciated his efforts in trying to get them some grass. So then after the twins' birthday, my in-laws headed back home, and thankfully they're gonna be coming back again. They said around summer or springtime they're gonna try to come back again. And it's nice, so every few months they're doing that for us. They're coming down here and we're spending time together, and we're so thankful because we really enjoy the time with them. So after my in-laws left, we actually got together with another homesteader. So Paul had been contacting another homesteader through YouTube, and eventually they got each other's information and they were texting back and forth. And we found out they weren't very far from here. They're only like an 1.5 hour drive from where we live. And so Paul's like, I really want to go down there. And so we contacted them, we set up a date, and we went down there. And we met the Anderson family homestead. I will link that here for you guys. It was really neat to get together with them, and they're just starting their homesteading journey. They came from Oregon, and you know, of course you're gonna have some concerns meeting a different family, like, are we gonna get along? Is it gonna be awkward? Am I gonna be sitting there, you know, twiddling my thumbs? Like, what kind of experience am I gonna have here? But we were just so blessed with them. They are a loving family, very welcoming. And we felt very comfortable to the point that it got really late and we're like, okay, we gotta start driving back home. It's dark and they probably want us to leave. But we were enjoying our time with them so much. And then that was actually a few days before Christmas. And then Christmas we spent as our little family unit. It was a really laid back Christmas. Unfortunately, it didn't snow really hard that day. The kids were able to play in it a little bit, but it wasn't like super heavy. So one of our Christmas gifts was this speaker. So funny story, supposed to be a surprise. It came in and Paul's like, oh my goodness, you're not supposed to see that. We could see the picture on the box and all of us were nonplussed. We had no idea what it was. And we said that to him. I'm like, don't worry, your Christmas surprise is still a surprise because we don't know what that is. So even as we opened it, we're still nonplussed. We have no idea what it is. And we're like, thanks, what is it? Eventually explained that it was a speaker. So we do attend a local church here, but on Sundays we also attend a live stream, our home church back in Tucson. Through the TV, the speakers are not that good quality. So there's been times where there's worship and like it just has like really bad audio. And so Paul was like, I'm done listening to it this way, it's so bad. So he surprised us and he bought this speaker. Guys, it makes such a huge difference. Like now I'm jamming, I can Bluetooth to it, so I'm jamming in other ways. I'm gonna have like other music or audiobook, but we were really able to enjoy worship night through the Tucson congregation with that speaker. So with Paul's family, one thing that we did is we mailed gifts beforehand, and we had the unopened boxes, and then we opened the boxes together. And so even though we weren't together for Christmas, one's in Tucson, the other one's in New York, and then there's us here in Kentucky, we weren't together, but we were still able to experience part of Christmas. Like I said, it's not the same as being there in person, but guys, I'm so thankful for the internet and just having that ability to still connect. A few days before that, we had actually been with some of our neighbors. We went and we exchanged little baskets, and that was really neat because that's not something really I did before. But one of the neighbors came over, she brought us this amazing cake. She told us it was really good. It was, she did not lie, it was amazing. It was so good. And then took some goody little Mexican candies to one of the neighbors right down the street from us, and then we exchanged little baskets. And then we went down the street and we exchanged with another neighbor. It was almost like the camaraderie, like we're all celebrating Christmas. And it's nice when you have that kind of unit with the people nearby. So then Sunday after Christmas, we went up to Louisville. And so we were really excited. We drove up on Sunday so we can attend church service there. And I'll leave a link on that as well if you guys are interested. If you guys are ever in the Louisville area and you'd like to attend a church, I will leave that link for you. So we went up there, we enjoyed service, and there was actually a renewing of the vows that day. We were able to just celebrate that with them, and we had some amazing cake. We had tres leches cake. It was amazing. And then afterwards, we actually went to the Cox's house, and she was so sweet. And it was almost like a Christmas dinner, even though it wasn't a Christmas dinner. I'm calling it a Christmas dinner because it was so good. And it was nice because we just got together with them and we're just like laughing and talking. And so we were able to celebrate almost like an after Christmas party. We really, really enjoyed that. I'm telling you, sometimes when we get together, we just know when to leave and we're like, okay, like we should be heading back now. And the problem is we didn't want to leave. We were just enjoying our time with them so much that I'm like, no, I don't want to leave. And it's a 2-hour drive from Louisville back home. We're like, okay, it's getting late, we really should get going. So then for New Year's, I had been in contact with Melody from the Anderson Homestead that we wanted to get together, and so we invited them over. So they came over New Year's Eve, and so New Year's Eve was super cold. I felt so bad. I'm like, you are seeing the Homestead in like one of its worst days. Like it was so cold. And then the next day, New Year's Day, was actually really warm, like to the point that you didn't even want to wear a sweater. I'm like, oh my goodness, welcome to Kentucky. So the first day they arrived and we kind of walked around the property, but we really couldn't enjoy it. I mean, even myself, I couldn't enjoy it that much because it was so cold. So we went inside and I made tacos and we just hung out. And then after we ate, it was really neat because we just sat around and chit-chatted and just really enjoyed each other's company and getting to know each other. And it was really nice to make that connection. Like I said before, I felt like they're really easy to get along with. So we stayed up, and I felt really bad for the Andersons because they're actually 1 hour before. So 12 o'clock our time is actually 1 o'clock their time. Guys, they were troopers, and they stayed actually until later on that evening, New Year's Day, which was nice because we had like days with each other. We were sad to see them go, but we said to them, hey, this is not the end, guys. This is just the beginning of a really good friendship. So we're so thankful, guys, to have company. So yes, that's kind of what's been going on in the homestead. There are a few other videos that I have planned to kind of share that won't be as long as this one, but I wanted to share with you guys what we did for the holidays. It wasn't quiet and we weren't all alone. We were surrounded with friends and family, and so that was a really big blessing. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If this is the kind of content that you want to see more of, please leave it in the comments. And if you guys have a question on something you've seen or we've mentioned slightly, or something that we said we would get back to, we never did, and you want to know what's going on, please let us know on the comments and I will try to do a video for you guys. So thanks for joining me. Bye guys.